What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I'm one of your hosts, as always. And as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
What is going on, man? It's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a
We're
little bit.
back
We
in
had a little
action.
hiatus.
Back
Yeah,
in
no,
action like
we're
the Looney Tunes back in
we
2003.
are. Well, yeah, no, that's a good movie. We're starring
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Have you actually seen that?
Looney Tunes back in action? Come on.
Yeah.
Don't come at me about Looney Tunes back in action. I am Looney Tunes back in action, bro.
I'm so sorry.
I love that movie.
I'm so sorry. I should
Come
have
on.
assumed. Yeah, no, we're back, man. We were in New York for a little bit, hanging out,
Yeah.
and ever since then, that we just haven't played a game worth talking about. So
Yeah, I also
and
had like pneumonia. Like I've been,
you
it's
had
just
pneumonia.
been a lot
You-
going on. And
You went to
so
the hospital.
yeah, I did. It was bad. I thought I was gonna die. There was a split second there where they were like really seemed worried about me, and I was like, "Damn, am I about to die?" That
Well,
would
bro,
suck.
you had an infection in your lungs. Like,
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
had
they were
fluid
worried.
building up in my lungs. I couldn't breathe. It was terrible.
It's
But
fucking
I
disgusting.
also
dude.
couldn't breathe, and I couldn't stand the thought of thinking about how the Texans have been playing in the last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, no, but prior to this game last night, shout out the best team in Texas. But prior to this game, it hasn't been good. I've
No.
been pretty fucking pissed,
Yeah.
if I say so myself.
Yeah,
I don't know about you,
I've been pretty
fucking
angry. I've been pretty
disappointed.
angry about it. There's just no reason that we should be playing the way we've been playing, and I've just kind of wiped those games from my memory because I've been looking forward to this stretch
Good
of
for you.
games. Yeah, I've been trying my best. I couldn't even, I don't know, who did we even play a couple weeks? I don't know. I have
You
no
know,
idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
know.
You act like you care, but you do. You cried.
But yeah, so like last night, obviously going into this game, this was a game that you and everyone basically was talking about. Texans have no reason to not win this game. They're starting Cooper Rush. The Cowboys, even with Dak at full health, have been pretty atrocious. There's no reason for the Texans to not blow out this team. And alas, they did.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why I was like slightly nervous before the game. It was just the perfect situation for Cooper Rush to have an awesome game and win somehow. And then the
Yeah.
Texans are just faltering even more. That didn't happen though. We went in there and we took care of business, like right from the get go. So like this first starting drive. I mean, we looked good. Yeah, Joe Mixon, this guy right here. All glory to him. He's been our savior this entire season. He's been our season essentially. He immediately just set the tone with that touchdown, and we took care of business from there. They never led. It was pretty easy. It was an ass whooping.
It was an ass whooping for sure. And going into this game, also we're excited to get Nico back. We've been desperately missing Nico Collins since week 5, and he's finally back in action last night. And between him coming back and Joe Mixon having 3 touchdowns, I mean, even in that opening drive. Because I was worried. I will say that I wasn't worried about the game, but what I was worried about was just on that opening drive, I really wanted to see life from the Texans, life on offense that we haven't really seen. And that opening drive was the Texans that I know and love from last season. It was just easy. Everything was easy. The passes were people were just open. Schultz was open. Tank was open. Nico obviously has that huge play on the very first play of the game. Touchdown screen pass that gets called back because of Laramie Tunsil, being an ineligible man downfield, which drives me insane.
Man, what the fuck? That was just we took the wind out of our sails because having that opening touchdown like that with Nico coming right back into action and taking a screen to the house. It's that getting it called back was just. I remember last night I was like, all right, this is gonna be one of those ones where we had a lot of opportunities to make plays and we didn't because of stupid mistakes. Didn't really end up like that, but immediately it pissed me off.
Yeah, it pissed me off too. And Troy and Joe mentioned this on the broadcast, but with all the problems that we've had with Laramie Tunsil this year when it comes to penalties, this play script has been here all week. Laramie knew what was going to happen and what he needed to do on this play. There was no reason for him there was just no reason for him to be downfield like that. He has to know that. This isn't new. They've been planning this all fucking week. And he does that. And it really, you're right. It just did take the win. It just was such an exciting moment. And then you see that flag right when you see Nico breaking, you see that flag fly.
He knew too. Tunsil knew. He put his hands on his head.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. He knew. And I was like, all right, at least you know. At least you know you're not trying to argue or anything. And then, going forward, offensive line held up pretty well all night long. I know there's not much going against, Mazzie Smith or whatever the Cowboys have. Trash ass defense. Fuck the Cowboys. But they held their own. They only allowed one sack against CJ, only got sacked once. They held their own all night long after that. So O-line getting better. I like it. It is slowly but surely, and this is the get right game to start that process of getting better.
Yeah, I mean we've seen the offensive line develop and get better pretty consistently over the last 2 weeks, which is good to see. It's still not great. Still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there's still a few times where I'm like, hey, stop playing like sissies.
Yeah,
stop all that sissy bull crap.
Juice Scruggs, man, Juice Scruggs is bad. He's bad.
Yeah, I've liked Juice Scruggs a lot. Last year he showed flashes. This year he's been okay at center, but he's still just kind of he's a straggler. Everyone else is getting better, and he's a straggler. He's not getting better.
Yeah.
Bye week is still coming up, man. Which is crazy to think, by the way. A bye week at week 14.
I know.
What the fuck? Fuck that, dude. That's so
I appreciate it though. I mean, I like it. Just get a break.
That's not a good bye week
stretch of the season.
That's not a good time for a bye week. It's a terrible time for a bye week.
Well, it'll be helpful in the long run of the season, which I understand. The players probably want an earlier one, but it will be nice to have one, especially because right after the bye, we have that stretch of Dolphins, Chiefs, and Ravens in 10 days. It leads right into that. That's so I appreciate it in that regard, but I agree. I bet the players are pissed having to go 14 weeks straight of playing football. That's no fun.
Yeah, I would be too. I'd be tired.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, man. I think.
But so. We still have the bye week coming up, and there's a lot to work on. This was the perfect time to start working on that. And there was a lot of good things that came out of last night. There were a lot of good things. I mean, first and foremost, defense. Defense is, gonna win us a playoff game. It's got to, right? Mm-hmm. These guys, they're all over the place. Will Anderson didn't even play last night. Christian Harris, he might still come back soon. These guys are flying around and making turnovers and creating sacks and pressures all game long, like consistently the past pretty much the whole season. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from the defense.
Yeah, not a lot of sacks last night. I think there was 2, which
5. We had 5.
We had 5 sacks last night.
Yeah, were you watching?
Oh my god, yeah, I was, but that makes sense. I was only thinking about the Daniil Hunter and Tim Settle one, but you're right. There was one after that. Up until like halfway through the third quarter, we only had 2, or only had 1. Daniil, we didn't get our first sack until Daniil Hunter in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, when you start to piss all over the Cowboys, pretty much, and you start to not pay attention as much because the game's too far gone for them.
Yeah,
and also Cooper Rush dropped back so many times. So how are you supposed to remember how many times he got pressured? It was pretty much all game long. Yeah.
No, you're right. We got a lot of, I don't want to call it garbage time sacks, but they were late. They were late in the game, but there weren't any in the first half, which was a little disappointing. But the thing is, Cooper was getting the ball out, but the pressure was still there. He couldn't hit fucking anybody. Cooper Rush can barely hit anybody when he has time, and then you put Daniil Hunter coming down his throat. It's not easy.
Pause, man. Come on,
dude. Come on. You got to get your mind out of the gutter, dude. I'm talking about football. You're talking about something else.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. No, you're tripping. I know what you mean. No,
Patrick
you're
Storms
absolutely
in the
right.
chat. One sec. Patrick Storms in the chat said, "Good swarming, gentlemen." Good to see you, Pat.
Swarm, absolutely.
Brendan Hallam's in the chat. He says, "Damn, I wanted 77-0." Yeah, me too.
Maybe in the next 4 years when we play them again.
Will Anderson and Hunter are 1 sack from being top 5 again. Yeah. No, that's all. Yeah, it was great, and you're right about the sack numbers last night, and because the defense really, there were some times though where they were pissing me off a little bit.
Sorry to cut you off. You go ahead. You go.
No,
first.
I mean they had their struggles at times. I mean they did, and look, not having Kamari was painful. Not having Kamari Lassiter sucked. I mean, having to see Kadar Holman out there at times was a bummer, and having to see Jeff Okudah, which Jeff Okudah gave up their only big play of the night.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, he got he got ambushed with speed on that one. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch. But Robert Turpin, sitting next to Junior, the Cowboys fan, he said he was like, Robert Turpin's so fast, and I was like, all right, he's just fast. Beat him with speed. It happens. But if Kamari would have been playing, they would have not thrown the ball as much. I believe they would have just been like, hey, we're not going to throw the ball against Kamari Lassiter. We're going to throw the ball against Kadar Holman or whoever was Jeff Okudah or whoever was playing. So you're right. Kamari not playing it kind of sucked because we're starting to rely on Kamari so much.
Which, as we should. I mean, Kamari has been incredible. He's been amazing. And so when you think about what our defense did last night and how dominant they looked, especially in the second half, and then you throw in next week, you throw in a healthy Will Anderson Jr. and a healthy Kamari Lassiter. I mean, I don't know what you can do. I mean, you look at what we did to Detroit last week, which we didn't do an episode on that game because are you fucking kidding me? But we look at what we did to Detroit last week.
I was too mad. I was too sad.
I was too. I couldn't believe it. But even that offense, which is pretty undoubtedly the number one offense in the league, just really put them in hell. And if our offense was worth any type of damn last week, we win that game pretty easily. So if we can get the offense going, get Nico back, like obviously we do. And I mean, he looked good last night. He looked like Nico. I think he had 4 receptions for 54 yards. Usually we expect a little more out of Nico, but he's shaking the rust off a little bit. Hadn't played since week 5, obviously. But you get him back in the fold, and then just get the offense settled back into the Tank Dell, Nico, Schultz. I love John Mechie too, man. I'm really happy to see what Mechie. He really has a role. He's
doing
offense.
Things, and he blew up that fake punt.
Yeah,
he blew up that big punt. That was awesome. Good for him. He did it was an impact play right off the bat. So he's had 2 weeks in a row where he's had impact plays. I love it. Keep it up, John. Obviously, everyone has been rooting for John Mechie since he came here. So I mean, it was looking a little bleak. His time with the Texans was looking. It was just he made the team, which I barely thought he would make the team. And then this season, he had opportunities with some injuries, obviously that we've had with Nico going down, with Stephon being out for the season. He had his opportunities, and he wasn't capitalizing on any of them. Yeah. And I'm happy to see last week, obviously, his biggest game, and then last night made a few plays, especially that special teams one. That was crazy. What a bunch of fucking idiots, by the way. The Cowboys doing that. Yeah,
it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, what do you expect? It's Mike McCarthy. Yeah. If Cooper Rush playing, Jerry Jones's roof, the stadium's falling apart. It doesn't make sense for them anymore. Like, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks now. Yeah. Just be entertaining, at least. I think that's what they're trying to do. They know they can't be America's team with Cooper Rush, but if they're faking it on every punt, America likes stupid shit like that. So
they do.
So
you know what? And if it would have worked, people would have been like, "Holy shit, the Cowboys!" They would have loved it, but it didn't work. John Mechie laid the wood.
They should do like something hilarious every game. Like, oh, this game we're just gonna do Wildcats all game long, right? Or like this game, like we're gonna start like a wide receiver at quarterback and just do fun shit all the time.
Yeah, we're gonna put Trey Lance
in tank. Do it in a fun way. I never understood why you always want to do it in a boring way, but they're stupid. Fuck them. Fuck the Cowboys for sure.
Yeah.
Talking about like the good things that came out of last night. Not a very good thing, but because of one thing was good. The Joe Mixon was amazing. Run game looks amazing. I want CJ Stroud to go off really badly. I want a game where he throws like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Hasn't happened yet. I think the most he's had is 3 against the Patriots. But like, man, I'm ready for him to go off. He didn't need to go off because the run game was so good. That's my point. Yeah. But I'm still waiting for that CJ Stroud. Like, oh, he's okay. We're back. We're back to CJ. We're back to CJ Stroud.
Yeah, me too, Garrett. And
you thought about this before?
Yeah, thinking about this a lot. I'm watching that game last night, and obviously the entire season has been this way so far for the most part. When it just offensively, it isn't what it should be. And I'm watching the game last night, and I'm seeing CJ Stroud do things that I just don't expect from him.
Are we about to have a serious conversation right now?
Yes. Well, this is a very serious conversation about QB1.
I think CJ is not very good right now at all.
Yeah,
and
I don't think he is either.
And I'm tired of going on Twitter and having everyone be like, "What? It's because he's getting pressured all the time." Okay, yeah, sure, but at some point we got to rise above that. If you are really a top 5 guy, like we're saying preseason,
yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow's had bad O lines before, and he went to the Super Bowl with that.
Yeah,
in his second year.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the point where I'm like, excuses no more, man. I don't want any more excuses from everyone defending him. I know Slovik's not great. In fact, he's bad. He's been bad this season. I know the O-line's been bad, but everyone is improving currently. Not CJ Stroud.
Not CJ.
I feel like he's not improving at all.
Well, and they get mistakes. Well, they get Nico back, which is huge, and that's kind of what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for them to come back, and that's been the benefit of the doubt for CJ. Is his weapons are gone, and Slowick, blah blah blah. Which Slowick, we can get into it here in a minute, but obviously, last night, I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't thrilled with everything he was calling. But at some point, look, CJ Stroud, let's talk about his interception, because that's the easiest thing to point to. That play, that throw, Nico was wide open. Nico ran a perfect route. Nico, that's 6 if CJ puts it where it needs to be. And last year, 2023, CJ Stroud puts it where it needs to be 100% of the time. And it's not a coverage thing. It's not like they're doing anything that's confusing CJ. That's just simply a ball that got away from CJ. It was just
I don't know, and I was watching it. Obviously, it looked like it was a missed throws on CJ, but I mean, maybe it was just a miscommunication. Maybe it was the route. He thought the route was going to be this way, and it went this way. I don't know, but that should not happen anymore. No. We are big boys trying to win this division, and if you're just making mistakes like that, we're lucky it happens against the Cowboys because we're going to win anyways. But that happening against the Chiefs in Kansas City, that will lose you to the game. That will lose you the game. If you are winning 7-0 and you're trying to drive down the field and go up 2 scores and you throw that pick, that will lose you the game. We would look back on that and be like, that was a terrible play that made us lose the game.
No, we're extremely lucky that happened in the first quarter. That happened early on.
I think going back last week, sorry to cut you off. I think going back last week, that missed throw to Tank Dell when it was intercepted in the end zone, that was a main reason why we lost. Yeah. No one really talks about we talk about, Kaimi missed a field goal. CJ Stroud had Tank Dell wide open. He made a terrible read and threw a terrible pass. We're not talking about that's the reason why we lost. We need to hold him more accountable. We need to hold CJ to a higher degree instead of being Pookie, he just has a bad team around him. I don't want to hear that anymore, dude. I don't want to hear it. CJ needs to start playing better. He needs to start playing better.
In the narrative earlier
his little podcast tour and getting on couches and going you're sitting on a couch with a killer. Okay, that's hard. That's a bar. Oh, you only have 12 touchdowns through 11 games this year.
He did say that to Micah, and we did just kick the shit out of him
for sure. But I mean,
he did have 257 yards through the air.
He had a 77 quarterback rating.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I mean, but he didn't need to be good. But I understand he just needs to play better. I'm getting tired of listening to excuses of why CJ isn't playing well when he's not playing well at all. He's not even playing. He's not playing like a top 10 guy at all.
The narrative earlier this season, when the struggles kind of started, or not even that long ago, but really in that Green Bay game. The narrative was well, you'll have to stop making CJ play hero ball, and you have to stop relying on CJ to be perfect. And that's true, because we were relying on CJ to be perfect because everyone else was playing like dog shit. And I was like, that's true. Everyone needs to step up. Now we're at a point where everyone has stepped up, at least a little bit.
Yeah,
and CJ's still doing the same stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is, now we're just we can't rely on him to make open throws.
Yeah,
hit open receivers. We can't rely on that anymore.
Look,
Tank Dell, Nico Collins, 2 weeks in a row ended up as interceptions.
Yeah,
that's those are simple things that a top 5 guy should be doing. Yeah. Maybe we jumped the gun. He will get there. He's only 22, 23, something like that. But we kind of jumped the gun pretty early on calling him MVP and shit like that. Because then I look at Joe Burrow playing he's not even close to Joe Burrow right now.
No.
Like, not even fucking close. Not even the same planet. So,
yeah,
CJ needs to start picking it up, man. He just needs to start picking it up.
He does. And look, I mean, we'll cap all this off with you and I both understand that CJ is a fucking dog. That CJ is incredible, and CJ is QB1, and we're so grateful for it.
For sure.
But and look, sophomore slumps happen. A lot of people were predicting a sophomore slump for CJ this year, which sucks. But
I hate that they're right.
I know. And look, here's the deal. There's a lot of season left, right? There's a ton of season left, and we're at a point right now with the AFC South where the Colts are kind of nipping at our heels, but not really. I'm not worried about them. The AFC South is pretty locked up for the Texans.
I mean, we own the tiebreaker over the Colts right now.
Yeah.
We still have the Titans coming up this week at home. We still have we beat the Jags at home. We get the Jags in Jacksonville. They're 2-9. They're miserable. Yeah. We ought to sweep the entire AFC South.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to win the division. But when you get to that stretch late in the season against like the Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, and then when you actually get to the playoffs, you're not gonna be able to play like you do, play like you're playing right now and expect to win the game.
Yeah,
that's why the Lions won. That's why they took it. Like, they're good. They're a good team. That's why they won. Got to start making the throws. Got to start making the plays. It'll happen eventually. Like you said, there's a lot of season left. I'm looking at a crystal ball right now, and I'm looking at Saturday evening ESPN, the first wild card playoff game of the weekend, and we're hosting the Baltimore Ravens because they might get 5th seed, and we might be 4th seed. And then, or some team comes in, and then then CJ throws a terrible interception, and then that's one of the reasons why we lose the game.
Yeah,
I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a negative Nelly.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of looking at.
But it's true, and I believe that, and I do also think that Bobby Slowick just needs to be a lot better. I mean, CJ.
I think he should be arrested. I think if we would have lost last night, there would have been a warrant issued for his arrest, for his immediate arrest. Yeah.
Oh my God! If we would have lost last night, he should be on FBI's most wanted.
He's getting close.
Dude, I'd send Chris Hansen to his house. That's who I want to take care of him.
Damn.
Yeah.
The neighbors would be like, "Ooh."
Exactly. Like, Hansen? I want them to send a message. I want Hansen to send a message. But the thing is, we didn't. But still, there was a lot of moments last night where I saw the same shit that I'm used to. And I mean, like, this is just one example, but all right. He wants to do first down, second down runs till the end of days. All right. Which I get it. We got Mixon. Run game's been good. I understand that. But then, but I'm preaching. I'm like, guys, let's send some guys down the field. Let's let CJ air it out a little bit. That's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm wanting. And we get down to 3rd and 1, right? And we still obviously need 1 yard. Seems like a pretty opportune time to give Joe Mixon the fucking ball.
I see that. I don't understand this shit. Like, I don't understand. It's not rocket surgery. They
overcomplicate things all the
time.
That's when he wants to throw 10 yards down the field?
I don't understand it. They just I think maybe Bobby Slowick is an analytical nerd. Dan Campbell is not an analytical nerd. That's why he's always good and makes the right call, because he's just he's like I know football in my gut, not football in my brain. He does. But Bobby Slowick is just a little nerd. He's probably on his little calculator on his little computer and be like, statistics say, analytics say to go do this. Yeah. And then it's like the worst play I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's the worst play call in that
situation. He does look like a fucking nerd.
He's, at first maybe I thought he was like cool looking cracker, cool little guy I might want to hang out with. Now I'm like, fucking nerd, him just getting worse is making him more and more a nerd in my eyes. Yeah. So that's not good. You don't want to be a nerd. Like Mike McDaniels to me now is a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
So absolutely. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like that.
I mean, also Mike McDaniels is 10,000 times cooler than Bobby, but which is bad, which is rough because also Mike has been a little bit of a fucking nerd this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bobby. It's just there's just it's pretty consistent, and it's pretty consistent, and I've been hoping for weeks to see him turn it around a little bit and tap into what he was doing last year, because we all know this. Bobby Slowick was awesome last year. We loved Bobby.
I think he was more of just a Stroud merchant last year, and when Stroud's not playing as well he was last year, then this is the product. This is the outcome.
Yeah.
But let's start wrapping it up here. Because I'm thinking about the future now, going forward, because we talked about all the good last night. There was a lot of good.
Yeah,
we build on that. We have Tennessee next week. Tune in later this week when we have our preview up. That is a get right game. If I
buddy,
like CJ.
Yeah,
let's throw 4 touchdowns,
please.
Yeah, let's get your swagger back. I see you dancing pregame.
It's probably just a fucking. It's probably just a noon game. Nothing flashy. No Monday Night Football. No interviews. Just go out there and just have fun and destroy the Titans.
Yeah, man. I miss the noon games. We haven't had one in 3 weeks, and I miss them.
I know.
I feel like the whole world is watching us just fuck up sometimes, and I hate it. I'm like, I feel stupid watching them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. We're bitching about now 3 weeks straight of primetime games. I'm like, I want a nooner. I want to drink a Bloody Mary while watching the game.
Exactly. Yeah, I miss that. I miss my routine. Right. I miss the routine of a noon game.
Yeah, I don't have a routine for Sunday Night Football, for Monday Night Football. I don't. That's all new to me. I have a nooner
and I'm happy we did. We had it, and I enjoyed it. We had Thursday, we had Monday night, we had Sunday night, we had Monday night, and that's what I want to see that. But we've done it, and now I'm ready to get back to normal. It's like when it's like when you're going on vacation. You go on a vacation for like a week, 2 weeks, and then by the end of the vacation, you're like, all right, I'm ready to get back home.
Yeah, like that last 2 days on a long vacation, you're like, oh fuck, I just want to get back home. Yeah, get a shower,
sleep in my bed.
I miss my bed, man.
Yeah. And that's how I'm feeling right now. The noon game's gonna feel like home.
I'm sorry, I've Josh chirping at me right now. It's fucking
producer Josh. If you're gonna chirp, you better get a mic.
Yeah, dude. But
God damn it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Let's get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Shout out Justin. Let's get back to the basics. Let's have a game on Sunday. Let's have a blowout. Another blowout. Let's have CJ throw 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. Let's get back to that, man. Let's get back to that. Let's go 8-4. Tune in for our episode, our preview episode later this week. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go there, watch the game there. It's great food, great service, great beer, the best beer. The beer is ice cold. Excuse you. The beer is ice cold. And then also shout out to Jesse's Burgers. We had Jesse's Burgers last night during the live stream of ball watching. It was great. Fantastic. Thank you, Jesse's Burgers. And also thank you, Big City Wings, for powering this episode of Off the Gridiron.
Yeah, shout out. Thank you so much, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Lets us know that you like what we're doing. We do a live recap. Going forward, we're doing a live recap the Monday after every game, or in this case, Tuesday, and also usually the Friday or Thursday before the game. So make sure you subscribe for all that. Follow us on Twitter at Apollo Texans and Apollo HOU and all the social media platforms just to keep up with Houston sports and obviously the Texans. And other than that, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
Go Texans. Watch Texans.